We're playing on the live league. It's not an actual league, but it is something we do on Discord for fun. To play live, 5 minutes plus 2-minute increment games. This is tier 3. I picked Rachel because, well, this is live, and if my opponent's going to spend a lot of time thinking about positioning the units, then I can perhaps make them run out of time, make them panic, and as they are panicking, they will make less than ideal moves. So that's my reasoning for Rachel. My opponent also picked Rachel? Okay. And let me just check something to make sure. Okay, it works. Alright, so we start off with a pretty normal capture phase. I think we deviate over here. My opponent moves... I'm gonna say she because we're both Rachel's she. My opponent moves infantry to the right, whereas I move my penguin towards the center to capture this property. So that's the first deviation we had. As player 2, I get the first tank. So I want to apply as much pressure up here as soon as possible. I considered skipping the comm tower and going straight for this property, but I decided not to at the end. Spent some time thinking about it, but this is live, so I decided just go for the comm tower. Alright. My opponent builds a tank in response. I think I decide to do the same and build a tank on this side. And just apply some pressure on the infantry up here. This infantry blocks the bridge. I can't do anything without getting first struck by their tank. I go for these center captures anyway. As for my corner properties, I decided not to get them. I'm going to lose them anyway. Like, I'm going to gain these properties anyway since it's my 2 base plus airport side. So I decided, if I capture it, I'm just going to lose them anyway, so why bother? I might as well keep my penguins alive and go extra hard on the center. So my plan is to control the center, and then once I control the center, I can always shift my army left or right and squish their armies while they're separated. Because, you know, fight with bigger numbers. Crush them with superior numbers. So that's the plan. My opponent moves the battlecopter here and pulls the tank back. Don't exactly know why, but this is live, so we could be under pressure. I chose kill that infantry, why not? Battlecopter can shoot my tank? Nope. Tank and infantry can kill off this infantry on a city, then battlecopter shoots my tank? No, I block it. And an anti-air here just to cover this area. I go for this further property instead because, well, I just cancelled the capture to kill an infantry, but also so that my back penguin can capture this the property further behind. So I am currently up 1 infantry, and my opponent decided not to interrupt it. Well, of course they wouldn't, since I have a tank and an anti-air covering it. But now this tank goes down. Now I knew I'm not going to keep these properties, so I sent my penguins back. But now my penguin is safe and secure, and not under threat from a tank. I go in for it anyway. I don't get the kill, but I send a penguin, roll the luck roll, and begin capturing this property. I also begin capturing this property. Send in my battlecopter of my own to apply more pressure. begin attacking. Now I have a huge penguin superiority up at this corner. These properties will be mine. So shoots at my tank, okay. Shoots at my penguin, okay. I'm getting this property anyway. I might be overextending since I'm one tank turn away from that base, but I have so many units that it's okay to overextend if you have overwhelming numbers. And I know I'm leaving my own one base side very undefended, but it's fine. I'm sure it'll work out. What's the worst that can happen? After all, I am a tactics player and not a strategy player. So I will just win. So the fight has already begun, so I will win through my brawling techniques. So I go in, don't get the kill. It's about a 33% chance, I'd say. And I considered killing it off so I can begin capturing it. But because Rachel gets +3 healing instead of 2 on the cities, I decide to finish off that infantry so I will never be threatened. I can always capture it anyway, it will be mine. I interrupt this capture, and I send my anti-air left instead of chasing that battlecopter. Simply because I wanted a second tank, and now I technically outnumber my opponent here on the left side as well. So it's like 3 vehicles to 2 of them. And I also outnumber them here where they have 3 vehicles and I have, well, some of them are damaged, but I have 5. 6 if we include this battlecopter. Kills off my tank and walls off the battlecopter from my anti-air. And this actually surprised me. Yeah, that anti-air really did do a lot. Even if it doesn't get a shot, I'd say it definitely earned itself with the support of capturing these 3 properties. Like this property here, I never should have gotten it, but I got it anyway. I'm going to lose it, that's why I didn't bother defending it, whereas I chose to defend this one because it's 1 turn from my base. So, as for why the power surprised me, if my opponent just sacked the infantry... Well, actually, you don't even need to sack it, just tank here, infantry kills off my penguin, second tank attack this infantry, then the infantry on this property kills off this penguin. Her battlecopter could have reached my battlecopter anyway. So I don't... when I asked her about it, Rachel said... wanted to shake things up, but I honestly think there wasn't much that actually really costed them the game. What's with the pronouns? It's so confusing. Whatever. But no other tank is nearby since they are overextending now. So I decide to go shoot at the tank with my anti-air, because why not? The other tank's not anywhere near. And I decide to pull back here because there's no reason to continue fighting here. I got the property, that's all that matters. I'm getting these properties, so that's another thing. And one thing I have noticed in this map, this tank here, not a lot of good healing spots here. I could heal over here, but it's very close to them. I could heal back here, but it's very far. So it's a little tricky to heal my units on this area. Alright, anti-air shoots at my tank, infantry goes into wall it, and I'm getting close to my superpower. So my opponent does have a little bit of an infantry ball here. Alright, here it is. I am the tactics person. I see breakthroughs, so I go in and break through. I remove the wall, and then I knock out the battlecopter. So that's a win for me. And now I am winning by quite a bit. After losing this property, I will be up ahead by 1k, that's it. I mean by one property, or 2 properties, that's it. I thought I would be ahead by more. But I guess I also lost this property, whereas I didn't take this one yet. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So here's my plan. I have a recon, and I have a super pack. Well, I built a recon because I wanted to kill off this infantry ball, and then redirect the missile elsewhere to do maximum damage with it. So that's my plan right now. My opponent isn't engaging my vehicles, which means my vehicles are free to pick off these infantry, just so that the missile won't do anything. Just so that the missile won't target this area. At least that's the plan. So I go in, tank on the silo for the defense, and another tank to back it up in case of an attack. I also start just picking off infantry in general to deny them captures. A huge penguin wall over here, ready to push forward. And I built a fighter, simply because I don't like the battlecopters that are controlling the center. I want the air superiority. It should belong to me. Definitely not an eagle main here. Begins capturing some of my properties and picking off my penguins. But, okay, I got a little bit, I saw a greedy play, and here's where monkey brain goes in again. I realized one of the unit value missile would hit here. I can kill off this tank, and then my tank can reach in and attack the 7 HP anti-air, which means my battlecopters would be uncontested mostly. So I just immediately click covering fire. However, the infantry missile still hit this ball and one of my tanks. I had 4 vehicles here, 5 if we include this one. I could have easily killed 2 infantry here and redirected the infantry missile up here where it would do way more damage. Preferably on... well, it does the same regardless. But this would have been completely crippled over here. So that's... this is why I should take my time when I make my turns. Still, all of these here are still free infantry, so I decide to pick them off. And I also start capturing these properties. I try to block this medium tank. Not really sure exactly why. Join my tanks for a little bit of extra money. Build another anti-air because battlecopters. Yeah, it did do a lot on off-runs, but I would have preferred 2 missiles to hit up here rather than my own tank when it's shot down here, because this infantry ball is dead anyway. I have way too many vehicles and they don't have any vehicle reinforcements. So, medium tank gets a shot at my tank anyway. I wanted to keep this tank alive, maybe to hit any future anti-air, which I do expect. I still have another tank over here and here, but it's further away. So now, they are getting their superpower pretty soon. But I go in anyway because greedy play, monkey brain time. I capture these 2 properties, I'm way ahead on the income now, and I decide to focus fire the infantry so that they can't capture anything. And then I create a penguin ball here. I think it's a little too many penguins here. I probably could have put 1 away and still be fine, but it will redirect both the infantry and the unit count missile onto this ball. My unit value missile will probably hit here, which hurts, but you know, you can't win them all. So here's the covering fire. Boom, boom, boom. And Penguin survived. Anti-air can't actually hit my battlecopter. Hooray! Second anti-air. And here's the resignation. So that was this game. And I think the first power was definitely a mistake. So let's talk this game a little bit, since I did find it interesting. But I do believe that the first power was a mistake. With a superpower, I would be a little more hesitant to, like, let's say Rachel had her superpower almost ready as well. I would not do this attack right here. This is way too scary. And I believe it was because of that normal power, Rachel doesn't have her superpower, and I can safely attack without the fear of being counter-hit with a covering fire. And I believe and by the time she did get the covering fire, I was already well prepared for that, and I had plenty of more valuable units. Like, these battlecopters aren't going to be doing anything after the anti-air comes online. Like, they would just be zoned out completely. So I do believe it's that, just because of that, primarily because of that power, and the fact that I controlled the center, is what ultimately won me the game. You know, maybe I'm not as bad at strategy as I thought. I did recognize early on that I'm losing these two properties anyway, and that I'm going to eventually take these properties anyway. Perhaps I'm not that bad at strategy as I thought I was, but I still think I'm pretty bad, since tactics really do bring me hell. Anti-air plus artillery would have been more effective, perhaps. But you know, it's not about getting the best composition, it's about sending a message. I really wanted to control the air. I like the battlecopter spam. I'm definitely not an Eagle main, I'm the Sonya main, trust me guys. But fighter pushes all the battlecopters away simply because it also prevents a bomber, since now that I have a fighter, I feel more comfortable building a medium tank, and I could potentially start building heavier tanks simply because I don't have to worry about... Yes, it's also about proving that penguins can fly. So, the penguins can fly and control the air. That's the main reason.